Before we start today's video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know whenever we post a new video. If you want to see all the bits that we cut out of this episode and support the team here at Kick Ons, head on over to the Patreon for lots of exclusive content, never before scenes, and more me. Hello and welcome to Kick Ons. My name is Simone, and on this week's episode, we have extra special guest star, Esther Rix.
Good morning.
Hello, darling. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much.
Now, you are a songstress, you are a stylist,
I am.
you are an award winner.
Correct.
What can't you do?
Nothing.
You coming to Kick Ons?
But for people that don't know who you are, tell us a bit about yourself, because they would have seen your work if they're a fan of Drag Race Down Under.
Yes. I always say, if you want to win Drag Race Down Under, you need to wear a Style by Esther wig.
That's where I went wrong.
Because exactly.
Right?
And a few other things too.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Both winners so far have worn a Style by Esther wig, and it's looking like this year maybe.
You know, because a lot of people may know you as Styled by Esther.
Correct.
Yes.
That's been going by nowadays. I say Esther, then like, huh?
Yeah,
then it's Styled by.
Do you have to introduce yourself as Styled by Esther? Or do people call you that?
I say Esther, and people are like, well, that's a boring name.
Yeah.
I say, Style by Esther, then they click. Their
Yeah.
cogs start turning in their head, and they're like, oh.
What are your thoughts on Drag Race Down Under season 3 so far?
Oh, well, I think it's got the best production value, the best cast of any season ever. Obviously, the challenge has just been amazing. There's a few things that I would say if that was true.
I was going to say, how often do you lie?
It's been fun. It's been fun. We're committed now.
Well, that's the thing. You and I, we're both committed into the long haul. We're this far now.
Correct.
But we'll get into it later on. But this episode, I feel like we've turned a new leaf. All right. You know, the eucalyptus, the gum leaf has turned over, and there's something slightly better on one side.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to go through to the finale in a good mood. All right.
It's on. Well, as Ashley said last week, we're on the up and up.
That's right.
On the up and up.
Which you'd hope you would be. But before we get into it, are you feeling a bit like peckish?
I'm very peckish.
Bit peckish,
Very
bit thirsty.
I've only had some popcorn today.
Oh,
so
my
actually-
goodness.
Yeah.
So it's time we had the official tradie of the season.
Tradie.
It's the official tray. Oh,
look
wow.
at these. Fancy.
What have you brought in for us? Is this a charcuterie board? What delicacies have you got for us here? Is this that really fancy stuff that's pre-cubed, so you don't even have to cut it up yourself? Today's episode of Kick Ons is sponsored by Popping Candy. Popping Candy shoes are proudly size inclusive, and they're on a mission to accommodate anyone and everyone who want to step out in style. Now, to help you put your best foot forward and embrace your uniqueness, Popping Candy are offering Kick Ons viewers a special discount code. Yes! Get 15% off site-wide by using the code KickOns15. It's valid to December 30th, 2023. Thanks, Popping Candy. Kick Ons 15% off. Do it. Cheap. So we've just lost Ashley. The girls have walked in off the main stage. The energy in the workroom is we've just had Bumper off a lip sync. She's won it. She's lived to see another day. Floor was safe last week. So, you know, she's like, all right, let's get into it. All right, there's a bit of tension because the girls that can see.
No more Mrs. Nice Floor.
No, they can see the finish, you know. There's not many left.
No, it's very sparse.
Yeah.
Very sparse in the workroom.
But it's exciting because now we get to know them a bit more.
Delve into their psyches.
Yeah. It's a new day in the workroom. The girls walk in. Rue goes, ding, 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 hello.
Hello.
G'day.
Uncle Vesta.
Uncle Vesta.
Did you have a hat on? No hat. Bald head.
No, just big bear glasses. Yeah. She is trying some fun things down under.
Have fun. Let loose.
Let loose. She gathers the girls to let them know that it's time for brunch. Now,
but not really.
No.
It is a talent show.
It was a talent show. I didn't quite understand why they called it a brunch, besides the fact that they had the girls sitting on the main stage a bit later on.
That's it.
With like fake
cocktails,
drink things.
something. Snacks.
Yeah.
Snacks.
Yeah, I was like, why can't we just call it a talent show? So I couldn't talk on it last season because they didn't have a talent show. And this is the first time I've been able to give, you know, some information on how it comes together and what some of the parameters.
How to eat food.
Some of the parameters that may hinder your performance.
Yeah.
So we don't really see, the girls kind of walk around the workroom and hint at what they're going to do. And all you Bumper's like, well, I'm going to be doing stand-up.
Sure.
Okay. Now, this is an easy...
No, she was very, very confident. I'm very
That's
confident
true.
in what I'm doing.
Yes.
I'm going to do stand-up. Okay. And then proceeded to say, I don't have any jokes.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to start and say, you're a
Yeah.
bitch and...
And then go. Then it'll just happen.
Yeah,
It'll just
because I do it all the time.
Yeah.
And this is a trap that a lot of drag queens fall into. First trap being they think they're a stand-up artist because they can make drunk
they
people...
stand up on the stage.
They feel like they're a stand-up artist because they stand in a bar, there's drunk people, and they laugh at their jokes.
Drunk people.
But that's not stand-up.
No.
Anyone can make anyone laugh on the stage at a drag show.
So, unless you're actually a trained stand-up artiste.
Yeah, it's really difficult. It's really difficult. But it is a really hard thing because stand-up is much easier and much more fun in a room full.
Oh, you need people there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, most of these talents and things, they're much better with an audience, but we don't have the luxury of that. When we had our talent show, Rue wasn't even in drag yet. It was like Rue sitting in a hoodie and then Michelle and Reese on either side. We had 3 people watching us. We didn't even have the girls
Have they brought
in
an
the room.
audience in at all?
No.
At any point?
No.
This is the season.
Where would you put them?
Well,
Esther, where are you going to put them?
I haven't been there. You've been there.
Why can't we get a big Zoom screen of 100 people watching?
Yes.
That'd be nice. Be like a
Yes.
lockdown show all over again.
Yeah.
A situation like this is bloody hard. And stand-up is something I would not pick.
No.
I remember...
What else could she do? That sounds bad, but
Well,
I know she can. She's sung. She can sing. She sung in the past.
yeah. Well, she sang opera a couple of weeks ago at Snatch Game.
Correct. She could just do that again.
Yeah.
That would have been better.
But it's a really hard thing because when you get the brief that you have to do a talent show, one, it's like a minute.
Well, I always say that, obviously, drag queen's talent is being a drag queen.
Yes.
So to come up with a talent that isn't drag itself is difficult.
Yes.
And then you need to find a way of at least maybe incorporating it with what you already do, or a lip sync maybe.
So one, it's like a minute long. I think we had 90 seconds, but then they cut it down to a minute in the edit. So on top of that, it was even condensed more. Second, licensing, you especially the budget that Warner Brothers has, all they give you access to is there's a royalty-free Warner Brothers library, and we all got like a little login, and we get to flick through all the music and find something. So if you were lucky, which I think Isis was, because I don't think that's her singing. So
No,
it
it
must
sounded good, whatever it was.
Yeah, so she managed to find a really good song that she could work with, but there is thousands and thousands and thousands of tracks in there, and it's so hard to find something that works. Whereas other seasons overseas have been lucky enough that they get to have licensed music, they get to have sets, they get to have dances, they get like most of the talent shows that happen
they
now.
have a full production.
Yeah, even like the new like off spurts, they all seem to have dances at least. But we don't have that luxury. So you're already kind of backed into a corner and limited with what you can do. So it is hard to choose. That's why like when I did talent, I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to do a lip sync number. No. You know, I'm going to do a clowning number. It's going to be, you know, which is why I could relate to the mentality that Gabriella went this round. It's like, I'm funny. I like to entertain, I like to make people laugh.
Do something stupid.
Yeah. Because that's what, you know, drag is stupid. It's silly. I remember Karen originally, her original talent was she was going to do pottery. She was
like Ghost.
Yes.
Find a royalty-free track that's similar.
And she even went to private pottery lessons. And she's like, and I just found out that I couldn't do it in a minute and a half.
Oh, well, you can make a blob. You can make something. You can make something.
So, you know, unless you're like a rare drag queen that either was previously maybe a dancer or a singer or a painter or like had an extra skill, it's a bit hard.
Like Holly, who's going to be opera singing, she says.
Musical theatre. You know, we had a pole dancer at ours who could do pole. We had a contemporary dancer. We had...
Do not mention name.
And we had... So I didn't. And then we had balloon animals. See, very great things.
It's amazing balloon animals.
Oh, it was a very good balloon
It was well done.
It was very good.
She can do that in a minute.
Exactly. So these are the things, but it's really easy to sit back as a viewer and be like, why did you give us all of this? So the girls go, all right, it's time to be on the main stage. We're going to go through with Reese and Brianna.
Her face did look vaguely familiar.
Yeah, so the girls walk into the main stage. They're going to go through their routines, get some feedback. We've got Reese and we've got Bree, Thomas the Tank Engine, Thomasall.
Bree someone. She's a comedy in social media person, apparently.
Gabriella knows who she is, and that's all that matters. Gab's like, I've seen her social media.
Or someone told her.
Yeah. I liked her energy. We didn't really get to know much of her.
No, she didn't do much.
No, didn't talk much, but what she did have to say.
She was there.
She was there.
She was there. She assisted a little bit.
But I was really excited because I'm grateful that we're getting to see more and more of Reese this season. The only issue with showing this...
Redacted.
Yes. So the girls go one by one, but they don't show anything.
Well, obviously, it's literally showing Reese and what's his called? They're just actually doing their actual thing, which we don't want to see yet. But still, it's a bit like...
It seemed...
And some of the conversations, it just turned to... When got to Holly, just what are you going to do about the running order?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not even giving her a critique on the performance at all.
It was a bit weird. I would have preferred if it was a table chat in the workroom because that's what we
about
had.
what you're going to do.
Yes, that's what we had our season. A bit like Snatch Game.
But I guess this was just their dress rehearsal in a way as well.
I guess so.
But they would do that anyway.
I guess so. But also, this is not the challenge to have Reese tell you like the day before, I'll change everything. You've already sent in your tracks. You've already got your costume made.
Yeah.
You've already planned everything. There's not much wiggle room.
No.
Like, oh, sure. Instead of finishing with my hands down, I might finish with them up. Oh, good idea.
Yeah.
But it's a tough call to be giving these girls. And I mean, it's good TV, though, because it's like poking them in the right spots and being like, are you sure you want to do that? Maybe you should change.
Most critiques was bumpers.
Yes. And Bumper was the one where you could change a lot because it was just stand-up.
Yeah. She didn't have a track. She didn't have anything written down.
Didn't have jokes.
All she had was Matilda.
Matilda the dog.
Pissing on the floor.
Matilda, her friend's dog who likes to piss. And...
Yes.
I just don't even know. Like, when did she sit down and go, oh, this is it?
Yeah.
This is...
That's it. That's it. That was it, though. That was it.
I think the thing with Bumper is she can be funny. She can be really charismatic, but it's not structured. It's just like she just naturally does
happens. Yeah. After she's had 2 bottles.
Well,
of
that's what I
Sauvignon
mean.
Blanc,
Maybe she should have had
1 a.m. in the front bar.
Exactly. Maybe she had a little bottle of booze. And then she would have been a bit more relaxed to go into it. We find out that Gabriella is going to be doing a hula hoop routine.
Correct. Taking the piss hula hoop.
Yes, which I got instantly. I was like, oh, right. It's like it's a funny clowning comedy act. That type of clowning works well, but you need them to win at the end. Because if it just ends on a...
Oh, okay.
It's over.
Where's it going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her ending was like, oh, you got me. I'm fine. Then we find out that Isis is going to be doing...
She didn't really... Did she explain it much?
No, all we hear is that it's going to be a bit of a emotional. It's going to have a bit of thought. It's going to bring the mood down.
Bring the mood down.
Yes.
Somber moment.
I heard whispers about this performance early on that it was going to be a fan dance about mental health. And naturally, we're all like,
sure.
Oh my God, what's going to go?
Okay. What does that mean? What does that mean?
What does it mean?
What does it mean? What does it mean?
They were very clever in their producing in that they don't show anything.
Yeah.
So they leave you guessing. They don't even show a redacted thing. It's like, all right, next. We also have Floor, who comes out, and she's going to be doing CPR.
Sure.
Another comedy routine.
And we find out she's a nurse.
Yes.
Has it been mentioned?
No.
At all?
I've known nothing about Floor until this moment. So this was a good little window into her life.
And from what I can tell, she fucking hates Bumper.
Yeah, so she starts rehearsing her CPR and Reese is like, well, why don't you actually introduce it and talk through it?
I assume that's what she was going to be doing anyway.
Well, that's what you'd think.
And then she was just, I'm playing music.
Was she just going to be like pointing?
I'm doing that now.
Yeah. I mean, maybe she was always going to, but maybe his suggestion made her add the introduction to the beginning. And then we've got Hollywood star who says, I'm going to be singing opera, but forget about her act. Let's talk about the running order.
What are you going to do? Because this is our time to influence you to do what we want you to do.
Reese has got his earpiece in and he's like, so what order do you want to do? Are you sure? So the girls come back to the workroom after their dress rehearsals.
What's the go, Holly? What's the go?
So Holly's like, well, I've decided I want someone strong to open, so I'm going to go Isis. But Bumper has been begging to be first.
But you're not strong enough, Bumper. You're not strong enough.
Are you saying that
Are you saying I'm not strong enough?
Strong enough?
You saying I'm not strong enough?
I wish Holly in that moment was like,
yes.
Yes.
Yes. You're not
Read
strong
between
enough.
the lines,
Yeah.
old man. Come on.
You told us you are unprepared. No.
But instead, Holly, is she scared of Bumper? I'm confused. But Holly's like,
I would have put her first. Why not?
yeah, I think it would have worked because she could have done welcomes.
Yeah.
And maybe her stand-up could have been a bit more like, and welcome to RuPaul.
Yeah.
Well, they
Yeah.
failed
this,
reading
this,
last
this,
week.
and then
but-
I'm going to piss on the floor.
Yeah. And this
Mm.
is how Ru pisses. Anyway. Bumper's like, oh, you're saying I need more time to develop it.
Oh, that's fair.
And I was like, yes. And
yes.
she's like, oh,
that's what I mean. I'm not being mean to you. You're not the strongest. You're just
I want to give you
not
more
the best.
time, you
Yeah.
know?
What? Another
What?
How-
3 minutes?
yeah, 3 minutes. Yeah.
Because the accent, like, she was second, wasn't
How's
she?
she going to get more time?
Yeah, a minute and a half?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is that going to do for her? Anyway, it was bizarre. But there's a bit of back and forth, and Gab's like, well, I can go anywhere. I'm in the middle, at the end, at the beginning. Who cares? But Isis is offered the first position. She goes, oh, I'd actually like to. It's a bit down.
Oh,
Which-
yeah.
Fast forward to her performance a bit later on.
It's not,
It was not down at all.
Not really. She came out, hi, I'm Isis, say hello. And I'm like, oh, I thought you meant to be setting a set mood.
Yeah. Anyway, but Isis is like, nah, don't want to go first. Where would you feel comfortable? I guess it depends what you're doing and who you're with, but like,
I'd probably sing a song.
Mhm.
I'll sing a song. I think Holly's on the money with going last if it's a good finale.
yeah,
Or somewhere towards the end.
yeah.
Not first.
Absolutely not first.
Yeah.
I think I'm happy.
Unless it makes sense.
I'm happy being in the middle.
Yeah.
It's a new day in the workroom because it's time for the talent show. It's time for the main stage. But before we get that, we've got to get ready.
Gotta get ready.
And it was a bit of an emotional makeup mirror time. I feel like
eventually, but it started off.
it started off a bit weird. It was like, where's your drag name come from?
Gabrielle, this is the reveal, the big reveal. Gabby Bucci, where's your name from?
Yes.
This is why she's been silent
Oh.
for the first 5 weeks on social media and everywhere else. I asked her at Drag Expo.
Oh, would she not tell anyone?
She didn't tell me.
It was a secret.
She
was,
said, I'm not going to allow to say it."
Really?
No, she didn't say that. But she just
But,
didn't,
like,
she didn't tell me. I
she
was like, you're not Italian.
Because
are
I
you?"
hadn't heard this story before
No,
either. And
no.
maybe she genuinely has been like.
I always assumed she was
gatekeeping it.
Italian.
I
did.
I have never even registered that her name was Italian because I've known her for years and she's just been the booch to me. So
Yeah.
it's like I've never even like deconstructed it for it to be
Yeah.
Gabrielle. It's a bit of my Cabanossi, sorry. Gabriella Bucci. The story producing was a little bit weird here because it was giving Hen's Party Ask Me Anything moment.
I don't know if it was an intentional segue.
I feel like it was
do you
though.
think?
Yes, because everything
If
was
we
like.
ask Gabby what
then it was
her
like,
name means,
and Floor.
then we're gonna ask Floor, and Floor's gonna, I guess, yeah.
It's like, and Floor, where'd you get your drag name from?
Mm.
And then Floor was like, my dead mother. So it's. I felt like we could have eased into it. Maybe we needed Isis to come out. To come out and do a speech. Before.
we needed Isis.
You could have practiced it before.
We needed a fan dance. We needed a fan dance.
Isis spins through. Oh, now that the mood has dropped down, it's wonderful to see this other side to Floor. It's an awful story. It's so sad, but I'm glad that she can turn some sadness into something positive, glamorous, fun, and she's able to uplift other people through that. And it's these moments, these mirror moments, that make Drag Race special, that make it unique.
Yes.
You get to see behind the glitz and glam, and sure, we love the cattiness and the bitchiness, but it's nice to see that.
I much prefer the nice moments of Drag Race over all of the seasons since however many fucking years, 15 years of Drag Race. It's those moments that I'm like, this is why the show is is needed.
Yes.
So we can show our stories of queer people
Yes.
to the world and get to know us and accept us.
Yeah, totally. And it's also for, not only to platform queer people to, non-queer people, but it's also so other queer kids out there can see other people like them and be like, oh, there's someone out there like me. Post mirror message. It's time for the talent show. But before we get into that, we need to introduce our judges. So it's time for RuPaul. So now I did like this look. I almost feel like I would have preferred if it was just like a tube, like a fitted tube dress without the rouge side.
Well, there was the extra knot thing, and it looked a bit
Yeah.
odd.
It was a bit intestinal. But I did like it. And her hair was nice.
Michelle looked like Michelle this week.
Yes.
I don't think she's going to ever top the mullet.
No, the
That's
mullet
it.
was incredible.
Since the mullet, it's just downhill from here.
Yeah. From Amel and the Sniffers,
Amy Taylor.
Amy Taylor.
Bogan from One Town.
Oh,
or something.
she's
Full on Bogan. I love it.
I loved her all episode. They didn't throw to her much, but what they did was pure gold. They're just being,
Yeah, I'm going outside for a smoke.
Yeah.
For a dairy. Very fitting for the runway theme.
Yes, and she's in her finest piece of Leg Avenue body stocking, bit of blue eyeshadow,
Great. Done the
tits
job.
hanging out. I loved it. It's time for the second annual drag brunch. We open out the scene. We've got the girls sitting down at a little table. That's prime real estate, that stage. It's already tiny,
Exactly.
but it's okay. I remember we watched our talent show. We had a live feed on a screen and we watched it in the untucked area, workroom. And they did film us, but they never showed any of that footage of us reacting to it. And I'm probably grateful for that because we're all like sitting down on these ugly couches being like, go girl! So first up, we have Gabrielle Labucci. In this moment, I do love that we discover that they are allowed to have a pit crew member.
Oh, they did?
Because we have return of the reading challenge.
Winner of the
Yes,
glitter.
yes.
$2,500 worth of glitter.
It's Ben!
Oh, what is he going to do with it?
I don't know. I did actually ask him last week. I messaged him. I was like, have you got any glitter? And he said no.
Well,
So,
you got to wait till the season's ended.
yeah,
and
you got to
then sign a
wait. I
contract
hope he
and-
gets that bloody
You better.
glitter.
We'll follow it up.
Yeah. The performance we have wasn't the best.
Yeah, until he started throwing shit at her.
Yes. It was still funny.
It was funny. It was
and it
cute.
had all the
Yeah.
elements, like we spoke earlier. All the elements. We just needed that win at the end.
Even just one hula hoop,
Yes.
one spin.
She looked great, though.
She looked lovely.
If I watched that at a drag brunch, I would have had a great
Done.
time.
Great.
Next up, Bumper comes out. She starts
Well,
talking.
because they discussed in Reese said, why don't you turn it into more of a reading?
Yes.
Because she sort of off the cuff read a couple of them. And we're like, okay, good. She's going to change it.
Yes.
And then she didn't
Back
change
to
it.
dogs and pissing. And
Then she started, drag queens like dogs. I was like, oh, okay.
never in my life have I seen RuPaul so bored that she just starts heckling the poor bitch on stage. Not once, multiple times, the whole time. And it's
How
like,
do you piss?
but she just kept going.
Yeah.
And all of her being like, yeah.
Well, that's what I said. It's like when a kid brings a drawing up to their mom, a little 3-year-old. Look what I did, mom, and she's like, "Yay, good job!"
But this to me is prime example of the love that Rupert. This is a prime example of the love that RuPaul has for Bumper.
True. Bumper's bumper.
If anyone else had done that, Ru would have been like this.
Right.
So then next up we have Floor
Mm-hmm.
with her CPR. First of all, the look.
Very
Amazing.
cute. Loved it. Yeah.
It was like Nurse Ratchet. It was clean. It was fitted. It was fashion. I mean, that could have been a runway for all I cared. But she comes up with a different blow-up doll this time. And then she introduces him as Reese. Good little throw.
Reese Nicholson.
Reese.
And is it just a generic blow-up doll, or does Reese Nicholson look like blow-up dolls that you can buy with ginger hair? Because the face actually looked.
I think it's
that
so
was
just-
custom made.
Well, maybe it was hand-painted. The beginning is a little bit rough, but only because we realised they gave her no backing underscore whatsoever.
Very quiet, yes.
That's obviously what it would have been like in the room, but
Yeah.
we just had other people who had like Bumper, had a boom, 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 boom behind her. So it felt very dry. I mean, I didn't really like gel with the beginning of it, but then once the music kicked in
Yes.
and she was going back and forth.
She made some good jokes and it was funny, and she didn't act like when she was like, "Tell me I'm beautiful." Like that was
Yes.
funny.
Yes. It's a minimal complaint. Who did that fucking whiteboard? Like, I
The
couldn't
writing.
read any of it. It was like, why couldn't?
I didn't really look at it too.
No, why was it there? Like, because she could have gone to Officeworks and printed out a poster board. She could have had one of those big sticks and be like,
A laser pointer.
oh my god, turn around, Facebook.
Blind. When the music did kick in,
Yes.
and it made sense, and it was good.
Next up, we're going to bring the mood down, of course. Hi!
200% energy. Hi, I'm here. It's icy.
I mean, I guess what can you? Was she going to walk out and be
I've
like,
come to make you
she-
sad.
Walk out and be like,
Yeah.
this is a turning point for Isis because this performance was great.
Yes.
It was classic drag,
good.
and it was everything that Isis is like. She showed off all her performance skills, and I don't know how she found this track within the licensing free thing because it was.
We even Shazammed it. And
Yeah,
we even Shazammed it and couldn't find it.
Yeah, so it's definitely from their license free music. It was great. It didn't bring the mood down.
The first fan was a bit like, oh. But then she whipped them out of her boots.
This is like what we needed from Gab. You know what I mean? It was
yeah.
But this performance was great, and I'm so proud of Isis because up until this point, I feel like Isis has overthought a lot of things.
Yes, yeah.
And I remember back to when I was judging Isis in Queen of the Universe, and she did her talent performance for that, and she was a great performer at the time, but she'd overthought the performance. Like, I mean, I used to do it all the time myself as well, and there was like hats on hats on hats. There was too many elements to it. But this was clean. It was a beautiful outfit. Took it off.
Yeah.
Even more beautiful outfit underneath.
Yeah.
Floor work, spinning. Like if you just came out there and just said, "I'm just doing drag as my talent,"
Great. Yeah.
that's what it was.
Yes. And obviously we haven't seen a lip sync or anything.
No.
So this was the perfect showcase.
Best introduction, and it's not having to see her dance on a bike, try and miss being hit by various Mardi Gras set pieces and costumes in a 20-person Megamix tiny stage performance. It was her moment to shine, and she took it, and bloody hell, it was so good. So good.
The best.
I'm so glad that this talent show came at this point for her to be like, well, I haven't got a loud personality, but this is what I do. So now, heaven. Next up down the runway for their performance is Hollywood star, who has borrowed Ashley Madison's wig. Starts off by singing some opera.
For 2 seconds.
Yes. Can you sing opera?
Well, technically, yeah. Yes. I studied classical voice at Whopper.
Yes.
So, but I never
Are you a Whopper kid?
Yeah. Yeah, but I didn't want to be an opera singer, so I was like, fuck that.
But you are as the opera house right now.
True.
the mixed messaging. Who are you? I feel like you've got a wall up, Esther. I feel like you're really standing behind a wall. Who are you?
I'm 25.
If you were going to be singing opera live on Drag Race Down Under, any tips? Did she have a microphone? I don't think she even had a microphone.
She must have been.
Maybe they
How
just
do
used
they
a
do the
body
mics?
mic. Oh, they're like a body, like
Okay.
lapel mic.
Yeah, no, she definitely was singing live. That was great.
Yeah.
It was a bit like I was like, ooh. It was not bad.
No.
It was
A
good.
bit pitchy at the
Tick.
beginning.
And
But...
like Michelle said, I think it would have been good if there was more of that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's that how you do opera? Can you give me
Yeah.
tips? Any tips? Ooh.
Oh!
There you go. Maybe you've had a bit of that in the middle, you know.
Are you coming to Kick Ons?
Hey! New theme tune. It's a bit better than "Are you coming to Kick Ons?" Oh my God, I sound like fucking Amy from Amel and the Sniffers, don't I? I need to get her to do it. You can't kick Ons.
That was actually Gabby's voice last week.
You can see the girls that were like, right, this is my moment. I'm going to
She's
put the effort in.
prepared.
I'm going to prepare because she's got a self-produced track,
Right.
which on the timeline,
The forethought of that, right?
yeah, the timeline of Drag
And
Race is
would
like.
she need to have that like approved and shit? To
Well,
sing
'cause
her own
it's-
song? Or
Well,
doesn't
because it's
matter?
hers, it should be
Whatever.
fine, but there'd probably still be a little bit of like jargon just to be like, yes, I own this, blah, blah, blah. But you have 3 to 4 weeks to get ready. So amongst preparing everything, she also produced this song. I will first give her props where props are due because that is like, unless it was something that she already had in the pipeline, but I doubt it. I think she's put it together for this. The performance itself, the song's catchy. It's great. I mean, that's a lie.
It's a song.
It was a song, and it wasn't a bad song. She's been really good at performing in the group challenges.
Yeah.
But her on her own was a bit clunky.
Well, this is where, obviously, if you're producing your own song, you would plan a full production thing to go with it anyway.
Yeah, it's just a reveal. She had a nice outfit, whatever. Items come off. It's a nice little burlesque corset thing, which seems to kind of be her brand throughout this season of Drag Race. I know she paired up a lot with Diesel Darling, who's an amazing burlesque performer, but also costumier. Yeah. But that's the whole thing. is that who Holly is? Or is it that she just teamed up with Diesel to create a looks because you need to?
Yeah.
And now she's kind of being like, oh, I guess this is who I am. Then of course let's do it. Like, I don't know. Does she love burlesque?
Well, you got to remember she has only been doing
For a
drag
year.
technically a year, so you don't know who you are.
No. And she closed out the show.
Yeah.
All right, so it's time for the runway. It's time for shits and tits. Okay. And the runway theme this week is Not in My Backyard Barbecue.
Not in my backyard.
Not in my backyard barbecue. So first up, down the runway, we have...
Is it Gabby again?
I think it is. So first up, down the runway, we have Gabrielle Labucci as a sexy sauce bottle. Bit of dead horse. I love the outfit. The makeup and the styling
It was a bit of a shock coming around the corner.
Oh, it was like, whoa.
Oh.
I appreciate that she wanted to do something different with her makeup because she had a full different face on for the talent
Totally
show.
new.
Was this the right choice?
No.
Yeah, it was. It's a tits to the outfit. I like the outfit.
Yeah.
Passion made the outfit. Good on you, Passion.
Oh, we got to say tits.
Yeah, tits then.
Tits.
But the styling was a shit.
Yeah.
She was like,
The makeup and the hair.
oh, evil villain, flat wig, red nose. She looked really angry, and maybe that's what she thinks sexy is meant to be.
I think so. Well, we've been having this conversation on Yenna. I don't think because she's stupid. She's a dickhead. She's
Yes.
comedy. She's silly. She can't unlock
No.
the genuine sultry sexy
Yeah.
side, and without adding a bit of stupid in.
Yeah, which
The costume's already stupid, and then the makeup. I think she tried to go sexy, but it's like, she still could have done like sauce on her head and she could have done a pretty makeup, and that would have been like a
Literally.
really glamorous wave wig or something.
Something with movement that looks like it's
Yeah.
sauce dripping
Yeah.
down would have been perfect, like a Jessica
Yeah.
Rabbit,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
you could have done a wet look, or if you were leaning into the fact that you're in a giant PVC sauce bottle outfit, maybe like a foam wig that has like because you really get really structured waves and drips and movement, directional, but instead flat wig that went thump, her makeup went shunk, like it was all, and her nose like
No
contoured
brows.
No, it was a little scary.
It was a bit. It was weird.
A little
It didn't go with the sauce,
That was a bit of a scary sauce bottle.
but the sauce bottle looked good.
Yeah, so the sauce bottle is a tits.
Tits for the sauce.
Gabriella's face and
Shits for
makeup.
the face.
Shits.
Shits on the
Okay.
Shit on the face.
Next up, down the runway, we have Bumper Love as Sandy from Greece.
Yeah, that's the theme.
This is like
1950s.
This is like
50s based musicals.
Has Bumper matched the theme once this entire season?
Vaguely.
Like the closest
She's
she got
trying.
was kind of Kylie because she did a showgirl, but it wasn't a Kylie showgirl.
Oh.
Last week wasn't wearing fuchsia. She really has been stretching the theme, and here we are
she
again.
said that because I guess she grew up in the 80s. In the 80s, they wore black leather to the backyard
Well,
barbecue
what the hell?
as Sandy.
I don't. What?
Yep.
Let's go through the thought process. She goes, shit, because I heard the rumor that she got cast a bit later than everyone else,
Yeah.
so she had less to go. I'm still going with that because it's the only thing
I
that
think
makes
that's true.
sense.
We when we saw her
Yes.
at Pride
Yes.
Street Party.
Yeah.
At the Pride,
Oh,
saw
she
her
was-
at the
I saw-
Pride
yeah, 'cause that was
Street
just
Party.
before, yeah.
And we had only heard the day before that Bumper's cast. We're like, what?
Right.
Bumper's cast?
Yes.
She'd never been mentioned.
Yes.
Not said.
Out of
Not on the
nowhere,
list.
yeah.
And then we saw Joel and was like, is this true? And Joel was like, yeah, they're figuring it out. And she did seem very flustered and
Yes.
getting shit together as fast
Yes.
as she could. So I think she was a last minute swap for
Yeah.
someone.
Okay. So she's going through a wardrobe. She's like, backyard barbecue. I've got this Sandy costume that I used to do this Sandy performance with Polly filler.
Is it?
Yeah, like that she used to do it with Polly. Okay, she grabs that. But why did she grab the Sandy wig as well?
Yeah.
I
Do
can-
it like a mullet.
Yeah, like I can understand her grabbing, all right, leather, go for it. Yep.
Yeah.
But why did you pull the full like
Yeah, just the-
costume?
that'll do.
Like costume shop. Boom, there you
Yeah.
go. The outfit does not match the theme. It's a shit for me.
It's a shit.
It's a shit. It's not exciting. What the hell?
It's a Yenna. It's a Yenna.
It's like it just made no sense. So sorry, Bumper, but also she must know.
Yeah.
She must know. But I was really disappointed they didn't even touch on this in Deliberations. They just didn't even once talk about her outfit. Like, they're like, oh, leather.
No, they didn't.
Forget about Hollywood star and why she's got a wall up. I want to know why Bumper is dressed as Sandy. Why? Next up, down the runway, we have Floor. First up, let me get out tits. She looks incredible. It's obviously Moschino burnt ballroom reference to that runway collection, but she's gone barbecue themed. There's a bloody
little leg.
Yeah, barbecue in her hair, dripping down, burns, singes, little egg titty out. Do you think that was a message to Ashley Madison?
Probably.
Like, this is how you cover them up.
Yes.
Like, I would have had the like headpiece, but with like a wig that went up into it and that was a bit singed around the edges, because the styling is very like 50s housewife. So maybe some like curls and a little Marilyn-y moment or something. Love it. Makeup was great. She changed half her eye, put a burn there. Michelle later goes, oh, and she lip and on her shoulder. What does Michelle say? She's like, oh, and she had the burn.
You really look like you burnt yourself. Good job.
But great. Next up, down the runway, we have Isis Avis Loren.
Oh, Italiano, mambo Italiano.
So first up, she comes out with this apron on. Isn't it a bit awkward that the season that there's Gabriella Labucci?
Right.
There's actually an Italian person. Like,
yeah.
She's like, hello, I'm right here. Hello. The hair's lovely. The props are great.
Holiday.
It doesn't like wow me.
Well, yeah. It's nice. It's good. It's great.
But it's beautifully made. The fitting is impeccable. I would have maybe thrown some stones on it to give it a bit of life to it. But that's me. I'm a bloody magpie that I very rarely wear like a matte fabric that doesn't have any type of like shine or luxe or glisten to it, because like I'm a stage girl. I want something that when I step on stage or walk out of a gutter in the morning, a bit of a twinkle,
so people can still see you.
Exactly. But it's a tits to me. She looks great.
It's a tit. She looks so beautiful.
Yeah,
I'm sure Michelle was.
Well, yeah, it was very. Michelle's probably like, "Can I get one, please?
Yes, please.
Will that fit me?" I would love to see this dress glammed. You know how glammed up with like a black fishtail added to it. So it could like, I'm all for like multiple wears and ways to wear things. If she had like a big black tulle thing.
Yeah, that would have added
could have
to
been
it.
like with a big hat.
Yeah.
Oh, did you hear? Side note, Isis did some stories and she said that last week she, on top of learning BMX bike choreography, writing lyrics, learning the song, reading challenge, all the above, she also had to sew herself her like BMX bike performance outfit, because the one she'd brought had like giant shoulders and she couldn't do the choreo in it. So she was up sewing a fucking costume as well.
Shit. Wow.
I wish they put that in the bloody edit. And finally, down the runway, we have Hollywood star in another Moschino reference, because Moschino recently did a big inflatable collection of all different, like they made their handbags inflatable and their dresses and their shoes. Very cool. And she looks great.
I loved it.
Yeah. I'm kind of getting sick of a flat wig, flat human hair wig, but she wears them well. I couldn't really tell, but it looks like the inflatable elements are still stitched to the dress in portions, but could be inflated, which is cool. That's what I was thinking about. It wasn't like, that was like half a penguin. So that was still managed to be stitched and sealed in that you could inflate
as well.
Just the like.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
What a risk.
Yeah, I know. She could have just had saggy penguin on her. Oh God, my penguins.
Saggy penguin.
My penguin's going limp. But no, I loved it. Tits.
It's a tits.
It's a good runway.
Yes. What? No.
Well,
almost.
Almost.
Once you get the lineup, you're like, oh wow, and then you're like, oh wait, yeah, that's right.
Who's that lady on there? Alrighty, it's time for the Deliberations. The girls are back on the main stage. We go down the line in performance order. So first up, we've got Gabriella Labucci. They said, do you feel like a sexy slut? She goes, oh yeah. Not the best critique for Gab, but a bit worse is Bumper. Hats off to her. Bumper doesn't fight this and doesn't give excuses.
Yeah, she's like, I know I fucked up.
Yeah, she's like, no, that's on me. That's on me.
Yep. I fucked up.
I mean, I'm the first person to be like, oh no, but I meant this and I meant this, but she just stood there in front of Rue dressed as Sandy. Goes, nah, yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
The floor, they loved.
Yeah, and with the setup of the episode of having her moment in the workroom, and they had a bit more of Floor. I thought it was leading towards maybe her winning in the top.
I honestly thought the top two was going to be Holly and Isis.
Yeah.
Just from the way, but maybe that was Holly's great structuring of the talent show because they're the two that stuck in me. They're the two that stuck with me because they were the last two and they were both good. Floor also reveals, again on the main stage that she is a nurse. They're like my big
heavy babies.
Big heavy babies.
Big heavy babies, which you thought it was.
Big-headed babies. I was like, what?
Or pig-headed babies. Yeah.
I love my pig-headed babies. They really set her up as getting some really great critiques. So by that point, we're like, okay,
she's fine.
You've scooted past. You're not in the bottom. You're not safe. You're in the top, which is it's been a journey for her. Hollywood star. They're like, oh, it was great. We want more singing. We loved your performance, but a bit one note, and we didn't really find out who you are. It did feel a bit cack. I am a drag queen on Drag Race. Here is me spinning around.
Yeah, it was very Drag Race song.
Yes.
Yeah.
The girls go back to Untucked. Holly is shook. She's like, well, I guess I can't be funny. They just want to be funny and silly, but that's not who I am.
What do they want?
What do they want from me? What are they trying to say? And Floor's like, no, they just want to get to know you and you're not really opening up to them. And even in the confessionals, like Floor's like, she doesn't get it.
She doesn't get it. Well, they only get a limited amount of time.
Exactly.
How can they be saying, I don't know you?
Exactly.
When, you've seen me for 2 hours every day. That's it.
Exactly.
You know?
Are you going to have lunch?
Yeah.
You're going to have brunch with me tomorrow? Let's do brunch again.
Yeah.
Let's go see a drag show and talk to each other. When they're throwing back to the judges during Untucked, and the judges having little chats amongst themselves.
Yes.
The highlight, though, is Amy. Because that little, cook bitch is having the best time. She's like, Holly, she's like, she put the Barbie in barbecue. She's like, I'm a drink screamer, but that wasn't funny. About fucking Bumper.
I don't know comedy, but that wasn't funny.
Yeah. I love her.
She's great.
I wanted to host next season.
New guest, Reese and Amy, done.
Get rid of Michelle.
Yeah.
I want Reese and Amy. But the girls come back to the runway, after deliberations, and we find out, Floor, you were safe, and that Isis... Congratulations, you were the winner this week, which means we've got Holly, who is safe, and our bottom two, Gabriella Bucci and Bumper Love.
But before
that's true.
Holly leaves the stage, I'd like to have a conversation. Rupaul, Charles.
Hey, Rupaul. I would like to know what else you'd like to see from me. Like, what else do you want to see from me?
Everything. This.
Rue doesn't just say...
Your love life. This.
Rue's like, oh, you want my opinion? You're asking for it now? So Rue says, all right, this. How old are you? 28.
28.
Well, Saturn returns in the moon of life, whatever she says. I don't want fucking... She goes into fucking astrology or something. I've seen this side of Rue before in person. And she was a bit angry.
Yeah, she's annoyed that you asked that question. Like, you should know what we want from you.
She's also wasting her time.
I've told you to leave the stage. Leave.
Yeah, think about it. You've been sitting in drag for how many fucking hours? Yeah. This is the last hurdle before it's done. It's like, get them off, lip sync, then back to my trailer.
Yes.
Then she's like, well, seeing as you're asking, bang, 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 bang. Girl.
It was good.
Miss Holly said, I'm going to produce some TV. That's yet again, props off to Holly, though, because she's producing some good TV.
She has.
It's time for the lip sync. To another male vocal song, Are You Gonna Be My Girl by Jet. Why?
That's like...
Why do another male vocal? We've had such a good episode.
Yeah.
Such a good episode. And we're at the final hurdle. Just 2 minutes. 2 minutes until we go, yes, we're there. And they go... You thought you were having a good time. Nah, let's chuck him, Jet. This was a wild lip sync. Gab is dancing around as a 60 sauce bottle, cartwheeling, and
she rips off the bottle cap
to reveal a lovely flat wig.
Just a flat wig and a red latex
red
dress.
leotard. She's doing like jokes and funny faces and bits and pieces.
Bumper.
Bumper doesn't know half the words.
No,
She's
I don't think she does.
The lip sync finishes. And unfortunately, it's time to sashay away. Bumper Love. Bumper Bumper should be so fucking proud. I don't know how she got here. You don't know how she got here.
She doesn't know how she got here.
She doesn't know how she got here. She hasn't worn a single outfit that matched any of the themes the entire season of
6
Drag Race.
episodes.
She's a stand-up comedian. I can't wait to see her one-woman show. I'll be there.
It's votable this Friday.
Yeah, perfect. Also, what an amazing thing to discover that RuPaul just loves you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good. Like, RuPaul
Yeah.
doesn't like many people. Like, you know, she's seen 1,000 drag queens. She's not going to, like, latch onto all of them. So she's one of the lucky few that RuPaul's been like, we'll see what happens next week. Hopefully, Gab can lift on up. What's going to happen with Hollywood Star? Time will tell. It's going to be interesting. The sun is rising. You may have to leave. But before you go, where can we find you? Esther Rix?
You can find me on the social medias, Styled by Esther, Instagram. But you can also watch me on on YouTube.
There you go.
So after you watch Kick Ons, come and watch with me and Russell.
Ooh, well, beautiful. All right, you better go. The sun is rising.
I know, I've got to get home. But Russell's waiting for me.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the good chats. That's good. Thank you so much for joining us here at Kick Ons this week. We'll see you next week. We've got 2 more weeks to go for Drag Race Down Under Season 3. But in the meantime, don't forget you can join us on the Patreon for all the bit you missed from this episode. Yeah, we'll see you next time. Okay. Yeah, got to go now. Bye.
good morning and welcome back to
this is my show. Piss off. All right, back to you, Nas. Go on, fuck off. Get out.
I'm coming, Russell.
Get out, vermin.